Yeah, I knew that was going to be cool, but not that cool. Let me try to explain what I think's going on here. So we got this oscillation that you can see after the shot in the bubbles. That's awesome. I didn't understand why the bubble would start back up after it collapsed. But here's what's going on. There's an equation called the Rayleigh-Plesset equation that describes everything a bubble does underwater. It's too hard to solve by hand, you gotta use computers to figure it out, but this is basically what's going on. At the initiation point, you have a super high pressure inside of a bubble, and it begins to impart momentum to the fluid around it, so it begins to grow. At some point, it passes the point where the pressure inside the bubble is equal to the pressure outside the bubble, and it continues to grow until eventually the water stops it. Now at this point, you have low pressure inside and high pressure outside, so it begins to collapse again, and because of fluid momentum, it goes again beyond that equilibrium point and begins to compress. So it gets a super high pressure on the inside again, and boom, another shock wave, and the process starts all over again. This oscillation occurs until you dissipate all the kinetic energy in the system. Now, at this point of Titus closure, you have the highest pressure. At this point, sometimes something can occur called sonoluminescence. Sonoluminescence occurs when you get a flash of light when a cavitation bubble is collapsing. Now, as much as I want to believe this is sonoluminescence, I'm pretty sure it's just a really cool reflection from the sunlight above the pool. But it's still really interesting that it occurs at the point of collapse. I wonder why that's happening. Okay, there's something else we need to talk about. This is my favorite shot. Originally, I thought that the first gases out of the barrel were from where the bullet exits and the expanding gases from the cartridge flowed around it. But look again. Do you see that black color traveling down the length of the bubble? That's the burnt gunpowder being released from the barrel behind the bullet. So if you follow that powder down the bubble, it should line up with that bullet. Yeah, there it is. So what's the first white cloud?